What if I told you that in the next 15 minutes, you could build AI agents that automatically win back canceled customers, turn your messy feature ideas into organized project tasks, and even create marketing graphics from your user stories? Today, I am showing you 10 AI agents that you can run in Claude right now to automate dozens of hours of manual work. These agents can interact with Stripe, Asana, your Google Calendar, Notion, Canva, and way more. And I think the real magic here isn't what the agents can do, it's that you can define complex software processes with natural language. For decades, to do cool things with tools, you had to write really complex software. And right now, you can start automating stuff just by writing English. It is crazy, it is insane, and you need to hop on board with using agents to start automating. The best part is that you don't need any technical background to run these. Let's dive in. This is an AI agent that uses the Stripe MCP as well as web search to find cancel subscriptions, create a coupon code, and then draft a win-back email specific to your business that you can send your canceled subscribers to try to win them back. So this agent will be using the Stripe MCP as well as the normal web search tool. So make sure that you have Stripe hooked up. I'm going to be using the sandbox for this demo, but you can go and just authorize Stripe to talk to Claude. To start off, this agent is going to be asking Stripe for subscriptions. So we're going to allow that action. The agent then wrote JavaScript and executed it to find whether the subscription it found was within the last week, which it was. And it is now asking for the URL for my product so it can create a good win-back email. I just provided the agent my URL, and now it is going and fetching the web page. It's going to research it, and so it can craft the right copy for the win-back email. We can see here that Stripe is now creating a coupon for 50% off. And right now it's writing the email that we'll send out to our canceled subscriber. And now we have our final email that's ready to send out. This agent will ask you for details about a feature you want to implement in your application, break it down into user stories, and then use the Asana MCP to create user stories and tasks directly in your Asana project. Let's go ahead and run this agent. The first thing this agent's going to do is ask you what is the feature that you're building. So I'm going to go ahead and provide that information. So I've gone ahead and described a new feature that I want to add to my product to do this task AI. And I'm just going to go ahead and give it to Claude. The agent just gave me a summary and is asking for feedback, and I'm going to provide a little bit of feedback, and then hopefully it'll get it correct and we can move on. So I've gone ahead and asked it to make an adjustment, and it added it to the user story. And now I'm going to go ahead and say that it looks good. So first off, we're going to see a MCP call to Asana for listing a workspace. So I'm going to approve that. It's now going to look for projects. I don't actually have this project in Asana yet, so it knew that, and it's going to create one for me. And now it's going to create a task. Now it's starting to create the subtasks. All right, so our agent just finished, and we can see that it made a bunch of tasks and even gave us a link to the Asana project. And if we go over to Asana, we'll see that we have our user story along with all of our tasks, and we're ready to assign them, assign due dates, and start building. I think there's a lot more that we could add to this agent in terms of giving it example user stories and features, having it assign features based on domain, right? Like maybe you want to assign all of the front end tasks to person one and all of the back end tasks to person two. There are a lot of different ways that you can expand upon this. This agent is really simple and just requires a Google Calendar integration. I specify that I want 3-hour blocks to try to find to do some deep work in. It searches up my calendar and finds free time blocks. So it found that I could work in the morning, work in this time, or I could work in the evening. So before we run this agent, let's go ahead and check our tools to make sure that we have Google Calendar set up, which we do, and then we can go ahead and run it. It's going to search our calendar, and we can see that we have a full report here for all of the events we actually have, and then different opportunities for time blocks. It will take any page in your Notion workspace and turn it into a video. For this agent, we want to make sure that in our tools panel here, we have both InVideo and Notion hooked up. Let's go ahead and run it. The first thing that this agent is going to do is ask us for the Notion page that we want to turn into a video. So I'm going to go ahead and provide that. The agent is now going to search for that page in Notion. Now it found the page that it's looking for, so it's going to fetch the content on that page. The agent is now drafting a script for the video. The agent is now asking for some feedback, so I'm going to go ahead and give it. This script looks a lot better, so I'm going to go ahead and say that it looks good to me and go ahead with the video creation. The agent is now going to call InVideo to generate a video from the script that the agent already created. And now we can see our video is being generated. Now we have our full video. You could use this for documentation, for quarterly reports. The options are endless. This agent will search your documentation and find anything relevant to the current task you're working on. It'll find what task you're working on in Asana and then do a Google Drive search to find any related information and then present it to you. More often than not, when you're working on a task, there's tons of documents that live all throughout, your ecosystem that relate to that task. And this will help you gather all the information before you start working. You can see here that we have this Asana task for icon and color picker components. And we also have this Google Doc that shows which icons we want to support. The agent is able to find the Asana task, find the relevant Google Doc, and present all of this information to us so we can complete our task correctly. Before we run this agent, we just want to make sure that we have Asana hooked up and that the Google Drive search is toggled on. Let's go ahead and run it. The first thing the agent's going to do is ask what task we're working on. So I'm going to go ahead and provide that. The agent will find the task in Asana to get context. Now that the agent has found the task, it'll get more details. And now it's going to search Google Drive. It didn't find anything the first time, so it's going to try again. All right, it found the right document. Okay, this is awesome. It found the Asana task and has all the details. And then it found the right Google Drive document and gave me the information from the document. This AI agent will look up your business, find your competitors, and create an entire report of a market analysis and pricing comparison between you and your competitors. Here's the report that was generated for my business. All right, so for this agent, we just want the Notion tool to be enabled in Claude. Let's go ahead and run it. The first thing the agent's going to do is ask us for the URL of our business. So I'm going to provide my URL. We can now see that Claude is using its search tool to look up my business on the web. And now it's finding my competitors and looking up their pricing plans. It looked up Zapier. It's looking up Microsoft Power Automate. And now that the report is done, it's going to create it directly in Notion. And now here's the entire competitive analysis report that Claude generated. It has 6 different competitors. It has different plans for them. It has our advantage, our positioning. This is awesome. And now that it's in Notion, I can share it directly with my co-founder since he has access to our workspace. This AI agent will research your business, research a customer's business, and then draft a personalized cold email just for them that you can send out. You don't actually need any specific tools for this agent, so we'll go ahead and run it. The first thing the agent's gonna do is ask you for your business URL, so we're gonna go ahead and provide an example. And now that Claude has done some web searching to find more about my business, I'm gonna give it a target customer's URL. So we're gonna do Costco. So we just entered Costco's URL. Claude is now searching to find out more about Costco. All right, and here's a personalized cold email template about how my business could help Costco. The agent also asks if there's anything that we can revise, and so I can continue to give feedback until the email looks perfect. This agent will find subscriptions, products, and Stripe balances in your Stripe account, generate a report, and then turn that into an email draft for stakeholders for your business. For this agent, we just want our Stripe tool to be connected. We're gonna go ahead and run it. Our agent is going to list subscriptions on Stripe. It's now finding out more about the products for the subscriptions, and it's checking our Stripe balance. We can now see a full report that's created, and it's now creating an email to our stakeholders. And the agent then asks if there's any changes it could make. This AI agent will look up user stories in Asana, grab all the documentation it can find, and then create graphics in Canva to help you promote your upcoming feature. Here's one of the templates it made from the context that it got from Asana. This is game-changing for putting out content on platforms like Instagram or LinkedIn to help promote upcoming features with essentially zero work from you. For this AI agent, we just want to make sure that we have Asana and Canva connected to our Claude. And then we can go ahead and run the agent. All right, so our agent went ahead and found all of the options for user stories and then asked which we wanted to make a graphic for. I chose the first option. It went ahead and found all of the task details in that user story and then generated a design in Canva. And here are the 4 different options. Here's option 1, here's option 2, here's option 3, here's option 4. This AI agent will research your products to gather context and then draft an email like this one to ask them for feedback. If you were to combine this with a email sending MCP, then you could automate feedback collection for your product. This last agent is a little bit more complicated. I have Docker Desktop installed, and that's why I'm adding a MongoDB MCP server. And that actually gives Claude permissions to do a bunch of different actions with my database. We're gonna go ahead and run this agent. The agent is first gonna ask for a URL so we can look up our product and have more context when generating copy in the email. Our agent's going to call list databases to find the right database. It's now going to list collections to find the right collection to query. It looks like it found the correct collection, which is users, and it's now going to find the schema for that data. It's now going to find customers that have access to my tool. And now we have an entire email draft specifically for this customer that I can send them to collect feedback. And there you have it, 10 AI agents that can save you hours every single week. All of the prompts will be in the description below. If you have any ideas for things I can automate with AI agents in the future and showcase in videos, leave a comment below.